Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Doc Bob Lee, and our next guests are the host of BronxNet Television's weekly programs, Bronx Talk and the Bronx Buzz, a psychologist and a senior member of a family medical group. They join us today to speak about a nursery school and the impact that their late mother had on the school community and how they are doing their part to honor the memory of their mom. Please welcome to the show, Arthur, Gary, and Jeffrey Axelbank, the Axelbank brothers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gary, we know you're always on our BronxNet, but introduce us to your brothers and what do they do? Maybe they can talk off and tell us about what you're doing. And Jeffrey, you can follow them.
Let me tell you this, that people in the Bronx don't need to hear me talk on TV anymore. I will just say that this was really a special thing to do. It was the best way we could think of to honor our mother. And since my brothers don't get to talk on TV as much as I do, I'm happy to let my brother Arthur have his say, and then Jeffrey, although we are out of order because I'm in the middle. But Artie, you could start and say whatever you'd like about what we did and why we did it.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. We don't usually go in order anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're all pretty much the same age. Thanks so much, Bob. Yeah, I'm the one brother that lives far away in the South, North Carolina. But I understand the weather up there is probably just as warm as it is down here right now. So we're the same that way. Well, this was just a wonderful thing, and my brothers attended the ceremony yesterday at the nursery school. It's really part of our upbringing and our legacy in so many ways. And I'll say our mother, Mickey, but also our father, Eli, were both ensconced in books and reading, and this became part of our lives. And, you know, for us, it's sort of easy to springboard to our careers and to have academic lives and academic interests. But I do worry about children and families that, you know, don't have the same resources that we had. And clearly that makes a difference in what hand you're given going forward and how you play that hand. Yeah. So I'll just leave it at that.
I think, first of all, we should name the nursery school we're talking about. We're talking about Marble Hill Nursery School. Yeah. And it's in the Marble Hill Public Housing Project at 225th and Broadway. And what we did was we gave a donation, a monetary donation for them to replace old worn out books and also to add new books that would better reflect the diversity of their students. And so we were just thrilled to do that. And we also selected, each of us, a book that we remembered that our mother would read to us as a way to kind of seed the library for them. And what I remember, so I'm the youngest, and our mother went back to work when I was in second grade. And I remember my parents sitting me down and saying, you know, Mom's going back to work. Like, would that be okay with you? You know, or how would that affect you? And it turned out she went to work at a nursery school, which was literally down the block from my elementary school. And so I would go there for lunch every day. And what I saw was how she interacted with the children, and I got a chance to see her reading to them, and I actually got a chance to help out a little bit too as a second, third, and fourth and fifth grader. So this really felt like a fitting way to memorialize her.
The best way that we found to honor her legacy was that she loved kids, and even to the day that she died, which was April 2020, we said then we've got to do something to help kids. And what Jeff said is totally true, that the idea is to make sure that kids today, and both brothers said it, we all agree, that the idea is to give kids the same opportunities or as good opportunities as we had.
Can you describe the relationship that the family has with the staff of Marble Hill?
I mean, I'll be happy to start it off. Assistant administrator named Karen Warshell became a teacher and an advisor to my mother, and ultimately will tell you to this day, and she told us yesterday, that Mickey was really her mentor and taught her everything she knows. She became the director, we should say, Mickey was director of Marble Hill Nursery from 77 to 85. And then Karen became the director for 37 years. So that is also part of Mickey's legacy.
Yeah.
So we've had a relationship with them, I mean, since 1977, I guess.
Yeah, I want to go back to something that I think is really important about books and reading. I'm a psychologist, and I really think that it's the relationship between parents and children is just so important, not only on learning how to read and an intellectual level, but on a relationship level and on an emotional level. And there's something that I think is really true, is that when you are reading a book to a child, you can't multitask. You can't be also on your phone. You can't be watching TV. And so it's the one activity that you can do with your children that it's just you and your child and the book, and you're kind of relating to one another and looking at each other's eyes and laughing together or crying together if it's a sad story. And so there's something really important about reading to your children. And that's also partly why we thought this was really an important donation to make, to help them get more books.
One of the things they told us yesterday was that, because they have what appears to be a nice library, I mean, there's plenty of books there, but because kids are handling the books and families are handling the books, they get torn, and many of them have been there for 30, 35 years. And so they're going to replace some of those and then add a whole new stock of books that reflect, so kids can see themselves, diversity, stories about urban situations that old traditional books don't always reflect. And that's going to be part of the expansion of the library.
Yeah.
I think the other thing I would add, Bob, which sort of circling back to what we were saying earlier, is that the opportunities are not the same for all children and all families because of resources. And the donation we made, of course, we know is a drop in the bucket compared to what is needed. And so I don't know if we're allowed to talk politics on this show, but our politics in our family is very much that resources need to go to preschool and early childhood education. And it's not to replace families by any means, but it's to enhance and support what families can do for their children. And like I said, our upbringing, we recognize, was privileged in the sense of getting access to reading and having parents that had the skill and the reading, but families need to be supported in this way. And so preschool education and early childhood education is so important, and we're in favor of resources at all levels being directed in that way because the return for society is so obviously strong. So
yeah,
I have to say that my brother just defined what I know Jeffrey's thinking and what I am thinking. So I really appreciate that, because I know Jeff would say the same thing, and I certainly people know in the Bronx that I would say the same thing.
Is there anywhere we can go to get more information on what we're doing with Marble Hill? Or
you can just send me an email. I mean, my email is a public email, gary@bronxnet.org. And anybody who wants to interact, wants to learn more, I'll be glad to pass it along, whether to my brothers or to the school. I had mentioned, I don't know if I'm talking out of turn, I mentioned to producer Stephen Powell that you could get the director of Marble Hill on next, on whenever you have some free time, and then he could really talk about, not necessarily about our mother, about the importance of this kind of education and everything else.
Thank you guys for your service. Mom, we love you. Mickey, we love you. And, it's always a pleasure when you're working and helping with the edification of young minds. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you guys. And always a pleasure to see you. The Axelbanks, the band of brothers, Jeffrey, Gary, Arthur. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome. Wow. It's funny how time flies when you're having fun. Okay, that about does it for us here at Open, but we'll see you again. I'll see you on the radio. For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day. And always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. And we'll catch you another day, another way. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. Love you all. Peace.